Yeah, let's just do it. Hello, everybody. This is Ominous for Responsible Gaming and Ominous Designs doing episode 128. This is a big number. So I just updated to Windows 10, and it is not as catastrophic as I would have feared, but I still can't show my Chrome Google page on top of my editor, and I'm not gonna figure it out tonight. So we're gonna do without the Chrome editor. I'll try and remember if I start looking stuff up. At least I'll tell you, and I'll try and remember to not spend hours in there. Um, so I do have a concept for today's cards. I was trying to think of actually, there's one design that came to my mind recently, and I kind of started elaborating around it and making a lot of cards similar to that particular one. Um, I think I'm gonna elect to show you the first card I came up with last, just because I feel like it, and I'm in charge. Um, so let's see. I'm gonna show you with one card, and we're gonna talk balance and etc. So we're gonna do something like this. We're gonna do something like, oh no, there you go. I don't know. I like this guy. It's pretty cool. Um, and perfect. We're gonna do something very simple. It's like limited minded, and it's gonna say when something something dies. Let's see. Good old, good old Chook, like this. Na, 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 na. I don't know. For now, I want human, but I'm not sure. And what I want is something like this. I guess I could have two. I could see it making two. But three is pretty cool if you want to make it an uncommon, because a 3/3 that dies into two 1/1s for 5, especially if it's 2 white. I mean, it doesn't have to be 2 white, but it would make a common, I think. You pay 5, you get a 3/3, which is darn bad. Like it's real bad. Like most people say a 3/3 for 4 is okay in limited, but they're trying to sell you the upside. A 3/3 for 4 in limited kind of sucks, especially these days. I mean, it depends on the block, but it's just not good enough anymore. Um, so if it was a 3/3 for 5, I don't know if 2 humans when it dies would be enough. I It probably would be, I guess. But for some reason, I like the 2 white in this design. Maybe because it's like the card is supposed to make you 4 white creatures. So for some reason, I felt like it was whiter, and it's an uncommon. So if you want to push an uncommon, you kind of, I don't know if that's a thing. I feel like you push uncommons with a double white so that they're like real good uncommons, but I don't know. Um, and somehow this feels like, yeah, I don't know. You could splash it, which is not the best. You kind of want this card to be the an exemplar for whatever white is doing. Um, so yeah, for some reason I like the 3 white white. Aesthetically or whatever. Maybe it's also because there's a bunch of snow behind. I don't know. Um, a 3/3 with, so in Battle for Zendikar, I believe there is the Brood Monitor, which is a 3/3 that comes in with 3 Scions that you can sack for mana, and that card costs 6, and it's a common, I do believe. So does that make it okay to have an uncommon that puts 3 that don't sack for 1 less? Kind of feel like saying yes. I mean, it's it would probably be a insane uncommon. It would probably be like the best uncommon. Um, so it's debatable. I think it's probably good like this already, even though it's kind of counterintuitive because I don't like. So 5/5 for 5 is good. 5/5 for 5 as a 3/3 and 2/1/1s, still pretty sweet. 5/5 now you get a 3/3 and whenever that finally dies you get 2/1/1s back. I don't know, it might be okay. I mean, it might be good. I just don't know if I could get away with pushing the 3 there. Um, I just kind of want to push the envelope and have people tell me I'm overshooting it rather than undershooting it. And to be honest, um, online there's still, and you wouldn't expect that, but there's still people who are pushing cards power level. I would have expected that a lot of the developers are kind of wary and afraid of pushing designs. And I haven't felt that. Like I was expecting a lot of people telling me, "Oh, this is too strong. This is too strong. This is too strong." And more often, I get people telling me, "Oh, this is not that great." And I wonder if that's because they play in constructed, or maybe even in limited, but mostly constructed. Because constructed people kind of tend to complain all the time that the card is not powerful enough. Limited people tend to complain that the card is too powerful and it fucks up their limited games, right? So there might be something like that too. I usually tend to be very wary of my design power level. I feel like this could be pretty darn powerful in limited and maybe super annoying. Um, I mean, heck, it costs 5 to make 4/1/1s. Isn't there a card that does that? I feel like there's a card that did that in a recent set. So I'm going on my gatherer right now, and I'm gonna say 4 tokens, and I'm removing all the filters I had. And we are getting Gideon's Phalanx. That's not what I'm looking for. Ikatian Town, poor 4/1/1, super ancient, and it costs 6, but that's an old card. Okay, there is no such thing. Huh. There's there is the red one in Ravnica that puts 4/1/1 red goblins for 5. So for the same price as this. So you kind of get a big upgrade. You get one of your 1/1 that's actually your 3/3. But they come in two different servings as it be. And I mean, keep in mind that if your opponent has a 2/4, then you kind of screwed out of your value, right? You paid 5 to get a 3/3, and your opponent goes like, "Good job." Um, it's not the biggest downside for sure, but I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try it. It's gonna be a mob, and that's it. It's gonna be a human, and I don't know. It could be Berserker, but I don't really like putting a white Berserker that doesn't do something crazy. Um, yeah, I don't know. It might just be human. Nowadays, you don't see many things being only human, do you? Um, I don't particularly want this to be soldier, but I'll do it. And in which case, I need to put soldier in there. But I mean, mobs is not soldier either, is the thing. What's like um, um, what's the name of the mob in Innistrad? Um, the name of the mob in Innistrad is called Unruly Mob, and it's just a human. Okay, so things are human. So there you go. Very push design might be okay. Quickly, the idea that I had before was I had the opportunity to riff on the exile the card from your graveyard, make a token that's been going on in Innistrad, and I guess I just didn't feel like it. I feel like it is very Innistrad too. I mean, you need a reason to say, oh, this is in the graveyard, and now it's coming back of the graveyard later on. Like you cannot make a mob that dies and then you exile it from the graveyard and it makes more guys. Like there would be zombies at this stage, right? So that's one reason that I put a die trigger. I mean, that's kind of the main reason. I think doing stuff from the graveyard is very specific and very Innistrad. Um, and yeah, I mean, this has different applications, right? You need a set that has an self-mill, but instead relies on enter the battlefield and die triggers, maybe have some sack outlets, etc., etc. And the last thing is, it is a tiny bit of a challenge flavor-wise because mob dies, put 3/1/1 white humans, fine. The mob disperses or whatever, and you get your humans separate. You can say that it was the mob as a 3/3, and then it was the 3/1/1s separately, something like that. But it's sometimes it's going to be hard to make the flavor work, or you need to just work on making sure the flavor is there. So since it's a very simple mechanism, I started thinking about a little bit about what I could do, and I came up with a couple. So, and it's funny because I don't feel like there's a ton of those cards. There's some like usually when there's some of those cards, they're very spread out on different sets. There's one insect that makes other small insects, maybe saprolings, zombies, but not that many cards of the sort. So we're gonna make a which one? Should I make all the cards that I thought of? Is that gonna give me more work? I'm just gonna show you one idea that I won't push too much just because I found the illustration. Look at this guy. Can you just guess what he's gonna do? Yeah, I'm not even gonna make the card, I'm just gonna say it. Like, you just make a human that makes a flyer, you know? Um, you could have, let's say, so you can probably not have a 2/2 that turns into a 1/1 for 2 because that's just very, very, very good. You used to have a Doom Traveler that was a 1/1 for 1 that makes you a spirit. Um, so maybe it could be a 2/1 for 2 that makes you a 1/1 flyer. Maybe. If it's a 1/2 for, I mean, I guess you could make Doom Traveler and change the flavor, do a functional reprint of Doom Traveler, and except you would make a bird. That could be funny. I don't know. I don't want to design this one entirely because it's another white card and I have another couple of designs I want to do. So let's skip on trucking this guy. A lot of zombies in this set, on those illustrations. You could make some fun stuff. Um, so for this guy, I'm thinking, um, put a. I was thinking making a 3/1 trampler because it's fun. Um, and with a token with trample. I kind of like the trample for some reason. And I thought, since I don't want this card to cost 1,000,000, I need to make it low to the ground. So I started thinking about, okay, can I have a 2/2 for 3? And that's probably too good. Can I have a 3/1 for 3? A 2/1 for 3. Um, and I think it's getting there. It's probably still too good. Um, One thing that I could do is say, okay, those cards are trying to be interesting, and like not you get two creatures, so I don't want them to cost 5 because my cycle gets less interesting, I feel. If you make small creatures that come in pair, but for a lot of mana, people don't really often see the value in that, and it can also go wrong because, like I said, the person can just completely ignore you 2-1 and then you just paid 5 for it. So what I can do, if I say it's an uncommon, I can probably bump it up to 1 red red. But even that is just, this is kind of sad, right? Like you get your 2-1. If the opponent can manage to just um, ignore it, or yeah, if they can just ignore it, then what do? You chomp, and then you get a 3-1. Um, so 1 red red for your 2-1. I don't know. I guess those are actually kind of hard to balance, are they? Like, what can I? How much can I sell my? Because it's red, right? Like you don't want to make like a 2/2 for 4. 2 for 4 is just so rough. Hmm. So I don't know. My inclination would be this again. Just completely push it and see um, if that's tolerable. Like I said, it would really need a bunch of playtesting. Um, I cannot really imagine that 2 and a red would be reasonable because 2 and a red for 2/1 is nearing the painless. Like when you play it, you're just like, ugh, this is rough, but I can deal with it, you know? And then you get your 3/1 Trampler. Sounds like you're a little bit too much of a value. Um, I mean, it could also not be Trampler if you want to tune the design down, I guess. I mean, it might be that we need to make both the tweaks. Um, I don't know. As an uncommon, I would try and push it and you know same as I've been saying for the past couple for the previous design. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, needs playtesting. Might just work. Um, and then we're moving on to my actual original idea that led to this design. So over here. I don't have an image, but let me see if I can find one very fast. It's going to be very interesting for you because you're not going to see anything. I promise to be very quick. This is very cute. And the answer is... Pretty sure this is an illustration from a magic card already. Okay, whatever. Well, actually, I'm gonna take this illustration and I'll find the real illustration later, because we don't need the final illustration just yet. But I just realized that it's nice to have illustration. It makes you kind of those are rats, and those are rats, and those are a magic card. So we're gonna put a 1/1 black rat creature token with Death Touch, which I think is cool, and you should think is cool too. And I think my inclination so far is to make it cost 3 and a black and make it a 3/3. 3/3 for 4, as we said, not great, tolerable, especially depending on the upside. Getting a 1/1 Death Touch, very good upside. Does it make it too good for 4? I think not. I think it just makes it good. Very good. Maybe very good. I could be very easily tempted to do this because my cycle was like that, and I just don't feel like it. For one, I actually really dislike always going to the double color to just add a little requirement on top. But for 2, I don't really think it needs it. I mean, it might be one of the good cards in the cycle, even though obviously we kind of pushed the other ones as well. But I think, yeah, I think it makes a fine uncommon. It makes a good uncommon. You get your 3/3 for 4, you're super bored, and then when something happens, you get your Death Toucher. Your opponent can see it coming, your opponent can still dodge you with the 2/4, or just, don't block your 3/3, or um, and then if he needs to attack into your 3/3, then he attacks into your 3/3 and you block, but or just to attack you with bigger than 3/3 creatures, try and not trade, but just make you chump, etc., etc. I mean, there is a clear disadvantage to um, um, having this die trigger. Also, in such a set, you could have just a couple more exile trigger, exile cards, maybe some um, pacifisms, narcolepsy, etc. Type of effects. There's a couple ways to get around those cards that make you pay more and then only give you something when they die. You know, um, you could have you could have a you could have threaten effects and sack outlets, and then you can start sacking your stealing your opponent's cards, sacking them, getting the benefits, do fun stuff like that. So I think it's interesting. That was my first design idea, and this is my favorite by far. I think the 1/1 Death Touch really sells you your good old 3/3/4. What's that, Hill Giant? I think he makes it for a pretty cool card. Yeah. So you could make dozens of those, right? You can make a blue card that makes flyers. You can make just anything, right? You can make a wall that dies into something else, which I think would be very exciting too. I would love to make that because for some reason when you play a wall, you go, well, this doesn't attack at all, but it's gonna save me, it's gonna help me, it's gonna block guys. You have zero expectation of attacking, right? So therefore you have all expectations of blocking for your wall. I'm saying very obvious stuff. Uh, which means that when you start taking your opponent's creature in the face because they removed your wall, you feel real bad. So I feel like a wall is a very good card to give you an upside when they die. I think you could say that at large for any kind of upside you want to put in a wall when it dies. I think it could be a very good idea because, like I said, when your wall die, you have this mental image of I'm not safe at all anymore. I'm gonna get overrun. My wall was like 05ing, blocking all their dudes, and now they're just going through. They just pass the gates, etc., etc. So I think it's really cool. That's it for now, though. I made 3 cards. This is a very limited-oriented, very basic episode this week, but I think it was cool. So there you go. The mob 3/3 that puts 3/1/1s, the 2/1, and then puts a 3/1 trampler guy, and then our Death of Rats. That'll do it. What do I want to say? I had a couple designs idea recently. I also kind of want to make a set um, in the near future, but I'm pretty certain I don't have the time for this. And a set calls for very deeper design that I cannot just make on the fly during an episode, I don't think. So it's gonna be tricky. Like if I'm making a set, I'm probably just gonna make it on the side. I could show you cards. Again, that's if I find the time to do anything. But I've gotten a bunch of ideas recently, and I'm kind of really tempted to try and do something with them. For now, though, that'll be it. I love the efficiency of this episode. 3 cards, about 25 minutes. I wish it could be like this every day. Unfortunately, that means that I would always come with the almost entire design ready, which I usually don't have the luxury to do. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to all the things that are up there, especially the ones that I still haven't put in my background. There is responsiblegmg.com if you want to just kind of see my main page and click on all the links. It's basically a portal for all those things that you can already see up there. Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. So yeah, do feel free to like and subscribe and etc. And come back next week. Tomorrow the article, and next week episode 129. Until then, you all have a great week and see you next time.